Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, as we're getting ready to finish up the Pisces Cup as the finals registration has started, and that'll be coming tomorrow, I thought now would be a great time to talk about the next champions meeting that is going to be Aries Cup, and what you might want to build for it, and what this track kind of entails. Now this is going to be actually our final zodiac of all the tracks. Now we will be going back to Taurus effectively after this. And then basically going through all the zodiacs again before they do the name change where they switch it out to just naming it what the distance or type is. And so with Aries being the last one, we're going to be doing another medium race. One of the nice things now with track blazers, you probably struggled a little bit for the long, myself included, but now it is going to be all mediums, miles, or sprints. And so those stat thresholds are going to be so much easier to hit, and you're going to be able to build much stronger Umas. And so Aries Cup is on the Nakayama. It's a turf 2000 right-handed firm spring sunny. So fairly straightforward on everything it has going for it. Being a 2000, this is going to be the shortest of the mediums we're going to have during Track Blazer. And it's going to be extremely easy to hit your the stamina that you're going to need for this one. And so one of the things when it comes to when you think about mediums right now that we've always kind of had problems in the past with, because of the stats being a little bit harder to get, is you can bring in those stamina debuffers. So those that people kind of go with glass cannons, you could maybe knock them out. That's not going to really be, like, anybody that's maxing out their speed, power, and wit can still get enough stamina and not have to worry about stamina debuffers at all on Aries Cup. And so if you're going to be bringing debuffers, this is going to be one where you're going to be like bringing the speed debuffs. So like with Dominator and those type skills. Now you've probably, if you've seen anything on this track, you already probably know the number one advised Uma to bring and then building the rest of your aces or even debuffers around them is going to be Christmas Oguri Cap. This is one of her strongest tracks. She is super good on it. In the fact that she has 2 heals that activate on good timing, to get her alt off. They not only get speed carryover, but some acceleration in the acceleration zone. And so if you probably know, or if you remember Scorpio Cup, she was very, very strong there because it's the same distance, and thus with 777s, as you can see here, with her alt, not only do you get speed carryover into the acceleration zone, you'd also have acceleration from her alt. And the alt also was a big heal, so you didn't even need stamina like at all on her. And it was very strong, but it was inconsistent on Scorpio Cup because you had to get 3 heals off, and even at max wit, it's still like a 75% chance to get all 3 of them to activate. But on this track, there are two heals that will activate like within this area, and that's going to be 777s again, but also now Agnes Tachyon's alt, Inherit. That one activates on the 3rd corner. And so with that one, if you have both of those, you basically have 4 heals. All you have to do is get any combo of your 3 out of 4 heals to trigger, and you're going to have good speed carryover and acceleration. So it's going to be very consistent. You're like a 95% chance of getting it. And so all it comes down to at that point is just having the stats and the skills to push you as far as you can in the mid-race so that you're ahead of the other Christmas Oguri Caps, because you're going to see a lot of her. If someone has a Christmas Oguri Cap, they're probably building her for this track if they want to go meta at all. And the only thing with it is Agnes Tachyon is a pace, positional related heal, and so you're going to want to run her as a pace chaser to be able to take advantage of this. So no being like a front runner, end closer, or late surger. And while all of those can work, because you can go with the 777s to get the acceleration with like an end closer, and that'll be very strong. It's just going to be inconsistent because now you have to hit all 3 heals versus having the flexibility of 4 and being able to like fail a wit check on one of them. But if you get the other 3, you're still going to be very good. And so she's going to be the strongest. And so what this has kind of come down to is there's like a few different variations of teams that I'm seeing that are working quite well. One is the double frontrunner Christmas Oguri Cap team. If you use this team, that's going to make it a little bit easier to be consistent on being in position for the Agnes Tachyon ult, depending on what the other people are bringing. Because if it's going to be heavy frontrunner, which it very well could be, then you might be too far back with Christmas Oguri Cap, and then Agnes Tachyon's kind of falls off. And so what I've seen is being actually a very strong, and probably the strongest I've seen in the room matches I've done now, is the double dominator Christmas Oguri Cap. And that's because she's so consistent on getting her acceleration and speed carry over, and not having to worry about stamina. So it's not like she fails a wit check and doesn't get her stamina unless she fails like 2 of them. And even then, you don't even really need her alt heal to not stamina out. You don't have that problem. The only thing is making sure she pushes up and is farther ahead. And then, of course, other Christmas Oguri Caps. The double dominator can give you that edge in that when you're going up against the other 2 meta Christmas Oguri Caps, the dominators can slow those ones down to edge yours out to overall win the race. The only negative of that being you're putting all your eggs in one basket, which I don't really like with aces, but that is definitely going to be, from what I can tell, the strongest combo to go with on this track. Most runs I'm seeing Christmas Oguri Caps are just running over the front runners. The only one that's been able to fight back decently being a Seiyun Sky front runner, and that's because she has such a strong ult. But against like a Mihono Bourbon, Seiyun Sky will struggle a little bit in the mid race. Still strong, but because hers is the acceleration zone ult that's really strong, she has 1 less mid race skill to really help elevate her into that first place position to activate it. So because of that, I feel like double dom's the strongest, but you also can go with the other combos I've seen would be like a 1 front runner. I would say Seiyun Sky, build her as strong as possible, 1 dominator, or depending on if you feel like it's going to be more heavy front, then you could go like you have the double dom. But even if you want to go with double ace, you can go with 2 late surgers, because late surgers are going to be fairly strong on this one. If you can build a strong one, they have a lot of gambling options on this one. You have Major Orion's ult that works, Major Odober's ult that works. If you run a Major Odober, and she's going to be very, very strong if she gets not only her ult off, but you also have your gambling excels. One of them being on your left with Fine Motion, or not Fine Motion, with Nice Nature, as well as a new one, a Serious Assembly Wit card that'll be dropping with the Ballroom that has a medium specific gold skill that is basically on your left, but instead of being for late surgers, is for mediums. You can put that on anyone as a gamble medium acceleration. So you have that one, as well as a bunch of other options. And so they have a lot of gambling options in that respect. And then you have a lot of speed type skills. I mean, we have the Marvelous Sunday Power card that a lot of people are using that has Fast and Furious, which is a mid-race late surger skill. And so I feel like late surgers will be the second strongest, whether you want to go with the debuffer to really emphasize that Christmas Oguri Cap being able to win because she's so consistent and there's very low chance of like just overall failure from wit checks. Or you can just go with heavy gamblers. Hey, even if you go up against opponents that have double down Christmas Oguri Cap, if you hit those gambles correctly, which are a little bit higher odds on this one, being only 2,000 versus a 2,400 in the late race, then as long as you hit one of those, you can have a good shot of catching and passing a Christmas Oguri Cap. But this is Christmas Oguri Cap. This is one of her strongest tracks. There is another one that's going to be similar to this, where instead of it being a Agnes Tachyon ult, it will be using the downhill heal ult to do basically the same thing, but as an end closer, which to me will be even stronger for her than this one. But this is a very good one, and she's very consistent. And that's pretty much it with this track. I mean, right now, it's basically, if you're doing any room matches, you're probably seeing Christmas Oguri Caps, and from what I've seen, they win like 90% of the time. And it just is what it is. That's the specifics of this track. But if you like my content, if you can like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.